What you're about to hear has been a running joke in America for a while now.
Every able-bodied African American must register for a legal firearm. That's the only way they'll change the law.
Granted, this statement has been made before by many people. However, it shouldn't surprise anyone because for a long part of this country's history, blacks weren't allowed to own guns. The very genesis of gun control was ingrained in racism.
Look at history between guns and gun ownership. You will find that without question, gun laws were created to restrict gun ownership from certain classes of people.
Long before the revolution, long before the drafting of the Second Amendment, laws were passed in the various colonies in what is now the United States to take away guns from minorities.
The first gun control laws in America start in 1620 in Virginia, when the legislature enacts a law saying don't let black people have guns. And that's been sort of the key theme of American gun control for centuries.
I've always said that these racist gun control laws suppressed the gun culture in the black community and forced it to the underworld of criminality. However, things are changing and black people are starting to be more open about exercising their Second Amendment rights. A lot of people have been sending me the video of the NFAC marching in open carrying rifles at Stone Mountain, which is a known location for Klan rallies and meetups.
Watch the wood. Watch the wood. Watch it now.
I don't personally agree with some of their ethos, but I don't care what color you are or what group you're from. I love to see people exercising their Second Amendment right. That being said, now that black gun ownership is starting to hit the mainstream, we can finally put Dave Chappelle's theory to the test. Black people across the country are arming up. So I want every single person, not just blacks, but everyone in this country, especially the new gun owners, to pay attention to who is pushing gun control now that more blacks are exercising their Second Amendment rights. Everyone loves to point to the Mulford Act as the shining example of how gun laws change when black people arm themselves. And as I said in my video about the Mulford Act, that very well could have been the case. But let us not forget, the Mulford Act was passed with bipartisan support. I bring that up because the left-leaning media loves to tell black people that it's the racist white conservative Republicans that don't want black people to own guns. However, in my 10+ years of 2A advocacy, the people I continue to see pushing for more gun control laws the most are the leaders of the Democratic Party and the left-leaning media, which is super weird to me because I've been told my whole life that the Democrats and the super liberals are the only people who care about black people and their rights. So, if this is true, why the hell are they not fighting for the 2A rights of black people? I see them use black on black violence in our inner city neighborhoods to violate black 2A rights, but I never see them actually defend it. They tell us time and time again that the Republicans don't want black people to have guns. But when was the last time a Democrat talked about protecting gun rights, period? Give me one. If the Mulford Act was so racist, why aren't the Democrat leaders in California who claim to love black people so much doing more to fight to repeal the Mulford Act? They'll paint Black Lives Matter on Hollywood Boulevard to show solidarity with black folk, but when it comes time to show solidarity with black gun owners, they're not only silent, they're drafting up even more gun control laws. But I thought the Mulford Act was inherently racist. Nobody cares about paint on the street. Black people care about protecting their families. I don't need you to take a knee in kente cloth. I need you to protect the constitutional right that you keep telling me the other side doesn't want me to have. Stop bribing black people with empty virtue signals and protect our 2A rights. Joe Biden is the same person who brags about writing the 1994 crime bill and assault weapons ban.
Well, two things. You may remember that the only guy that's ever beaten the NRA is me. And the crime bill, for real. I'm the guy that led the effort to get the Brady bill passed, which had the background checks. That wasn't in the crime bill, but that was before that, number one. We expanded the background checks as well. And I also was able to get past an assault weapons ban, as well as a limitation of the number of bullets that could be in a magazine.
Then, when confronted with the result of these said bills, says he's not ashamed of them.
Another thing about how perspectives change over time. Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, "I'm ashamed that I voted for the '94 crime bill." You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. And in fact, I drafted the bill, as you remember.
I know that.
Then goes so far as to say he wants to reinstate the assault weapon ban again if he's elected as president.
Eliminate assault weapons as being illegal to be sold or owned in the United States, as well as limiting the number of bullets that can be in a clip to 10.
And where do you think they're gonna enforce these gun control laws the hardest? Don't worry, I'll let Joe tell you.
Thing that we all have agreed upon. And that is, unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
If you haven't figured it out yet, in black neighborhoods, you can't say the black community is over policed and then push for more laws that will be over enforced in the same black communities. My goodness, with friends like these, who needs enemies? I know some of you are triggered because I'm calling out the leaders of the Democratic Party as if to say the Republicans are angels. They are not. I personally can't stand party politics, but the facts are the facts. These Democratic leaders are the people who push for gun control the hardest while telling black people the Republicans don't want black people to have guns, when in fact it's the Democratic leaders who don't want black people to have guns. And if the Republican leaders feel the same way, they can't do anything about it because their constituents will lose their damn mind if they were to push for gun control. So if you ask me, that's how I think it should be. We are in an election season, so I want everyone to pay attention between now and November and ask yourself, who are the people pushing gun control the hardest? And I want you to pay attention to what party they represent, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't care who passed what gun law in the 60s, 70s, and whether it was racist or not. I care about what you're trying to pass today. I care about who's standing in the way of my 2A rights during the time when I need them the most. Right now, there's a culture war against the Second Amendment, which is why I need your help spreading our message to counter their message. You can help do this by leaving a comment, sharing this video, and clicking the bell and subscribe button. Let my voice be your voice, and let them know you want to keep America tactical, because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed wasn't a suggestion, it was a directive. Also, if you're wondering where to purchase your AR-15s are essential, I will not comply. I am the militia. I lost all my guns in a boating accident, and your state-specific Keep America Tactical shirt, click the link next to my head or the link in the description section, or if you're watching this on a mobile device, tap the small triangle on the lower right-hand side of this video and click the link in the description.